Saturday night. I'm on my way back to Toronto. I spent a little bit of time at the school that my mom and sister graduated from. I spent 2 years in high school there, but I did not graduate from there. But because I was a nomad, when I was in high school, I bounced around different places. I've lived in a lot of places. I didn't really have a steady, solid upbringing in one spot. I lived a bunch of places and I went to multiple different schools. But anyways, it was nice to see some of my old teachers. They're still there, amazingly. I was last at that school in 2004, which was 19 years ago, and some of my teachers are still currently there teaching, which I was like, wow. Either, I don't know, you got to really love your job at that point if you are maintaining for that long. So shout out to them. Tomorrow I'm hoping to participate. I should be participating, barring any unforeseen circumstances or me feeling extra sore from the competition today. But I should be participating in the alumni basketball game tomorrow, alumni versus students. I'll probably be one of the better alumni, even though I don't really play basketball anymore. But I just say better based on the fact that I might be one of the younger alumni. That's just my assumption. No disrespect. And I saw some of those young kids, and it's like, even if the kids don't have the skill to beat you, they got the energy and they got the stamina. So I learned that going outside and playing against kids in the parks by my house. Like, even if I feel like I'm better than you, they can keep running forever. So that's a challenge. There was something else I wanted to say. I guess it's just another continuation of a couple of things that I was saying earlier. I don't know which one of you needs to hear this particular message, but the message is just don't give up. Whatever the circumstance is, hang in there just a little bit longer. Sometimes the ultimate success is right around the corner, and sometimes the things that we call failure are not really failure, they are learning experiences. If you set out to do something, you tried your best, and you executed the best that you can, you didn't fail. You learned something. I compare a lot of things to sports. I know they had this clip circulating, but forget about that clip. Let's just say sports in general, right? You go out there, you practice, you work as hard as you can, you get a nutrition coach, you get a certain type of coach that will help you in the sport, you increase your cardio, your endurance, you do whatever it is, whatever it takes to win, whatever it takes to beat your opponent. And then you go out there and your opponent outlasts you or has a different bag of tricks that you didn't expect. Did you fail? I mean, maybe you could say I failed to beat my competitor, but imagine how much better that you got by doing it. I can give an example of a race that I do. It's called High Rocks. There's a race called High Rocks, and I remember I did the first one and I got like a time of 2 hours and 31 minutes or something like that. So the second one I got 2 hours and 24 minutes. The third one I wanted to get under 2 hours. So I worked so hard. I did so much running, more running than I've ever done in my life. I ate really good. I hit the weights. I lost about 50 pounds, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to finish in less than 2 hours, right? So I do the race, and I finish in like 2 hours and 26 minutes or something like that, which was more time. It took me longer than the previous time that I did it at 50 pounds heavier. And I was very disappointed for a very long time. And then I saw a post by somebody who has won a High Rocks competition before but underperformed that day. And he was like, I'm so disappointed, but it was still a win for me to put myself through that grind and through that process. And just in terms of the time, it wasn't my day that particular day. So that really helped me get through it, because I said to myself, without having this big challenge on my plate, I wouldn't have lost those 50 pounds. I wouldn't have gotten in the best shape I've been in years. I wouldn't have done all that running. Like none of that would exist if I didn't have this big challenge. So how could it be considered a failure? Like maybe the time will come that I will get that time that I want, and maybe it won't. And on that note, I have a High Rocks coming up in 2 weeks. I wasn't thinking that I was going to do it. I strongly considered dropping out because of my physical and mental and emotional state at the moment. However, today, I signed up for a competition two nights ago. I just saw it. I signed up for it. I was like, I'm going to do it. It is the worst I have felt in a competition in a couple of years. But somehow I was able to push through that. And sometimes your best is the best that you can do right now. Your best does not have to be the best ever. But sometimes you have a capacity to do a certain amount based on the circumstances that are going on in your life. We should all know this. Life has ups and downs. I got lucky, really, to have maybe a 2-year groove where nothing major was happening to me at that time, and I could focus on fitness. I shouldn't say nothing major was happening to me at that time, but my dad was still around, and I was able to go see him, or he was in the house, and I was able to, know that he was relatively okay, and nothing else outside of that major was happening. So I was able to focus on fitness for a long time. And then this past month, I haven't focused on fitness at all, but I'm getting ready to go on another run. I don't mean literally. I mean, I'm getting ready to go on another run of competitions and getting my training back to where it's supposed to be, getting my diet back to where it's supposed to be, all that kind of stuff. Because I've been through the valley. I've been going through the valley. Eventually, I'm going to get up to another peak. And if you're going through a valley, remember that life is peaks and valleys. The place that you're in now, nothing is permanent. When I was doing my race, the referee, because you always get a referee that stands next to you and makes sure you're doing the amount of reps and counts for you and tells you what you're supposed to be doing. He kept telling me this one thing in my ear while I was doing the race. The pain is temporary. He was like, the pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. And as he kept repeating that, I was like, this guy had... And as he was saying that, I was thinking to myself, that's a deep statement. I feel like he didn't mean it with the type of depth that there was to it, with the way I was thinking of it. The pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. Because he was talking about the physical pain of the fitness competition that I was trying to get through is temporary. But I was thinking to myself, the pain and anguish that I'm feeling regarding my current life circumstances, that is temporary. I mean, I feel like it's always going to hurt in some ways, but it's not going to hurt this much. This is the worst time for that, and it can only get better from here. So I kept repeating what he was saying to myself after he said it. The pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. And repeating that mantra that really helped me push through, because I'm like, yes, this hurts and this sucks right now, but I'm going to be done in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. Soon to be done. So that's a quick message for you guys. And let me see if I have any updates. Oh, I'm going to upload a little bit of footage from earlier, but I don't have footage from earlier because some person, I set up my camera because they didn't let me set up my camera phone at the event because they said there's not enough space in the room. So we had this balcony area. So I set up my camera on the balcony before I went downstairs to do the race. And then it recorded me for like 2 to 3 minutes, and somebody walked by and bumped into the camera and didn't reposition it. So it only caught me for like 2 minutes instead of catching the whole 30 minutes of the race. I'm so upset. So upset. Mark, great mantra. Can't speak today. Thank you. You have a great night. Yeah. The mantra is, the pain is temporary. It sounds simple. But it means something. Anybody who's in any kind of pain, physical pain, mental anguish, you might have lost somebody, you might have got fired from a job, you might have broken up with somebody. It could be so many different things that are going on in your life. Remember that the pain is temporary. Have you ever had a situation like that is just permanent, that you just permanently hurt? And even like I said, some things are going to hurt you for the rest of your life, but they're not going to hurt you with the same intensity and frequency. They never are. Like if somebody walks up to you and stabs you right now, it's going to hurt bad right now. And then it's going to hurt a little bit less. It's going to hurt a little bit less. It's going to hurt a little bit less. And then you're going to form a scar in that spot. And when you touch the scar, I don't know, maybe it'll hurt you a little bit. Or maybe even if it doesn't physically hurt you, mentally, emotionally, you're going to remember. Somebody stabbed me and I had to go through this process of rehabilitation, and then my skin or whatever became disfigured, and you're gonna have an emotional feeling about that, but the pain is not gonna be the same as when it happens. Pain ends eventually. The thing is, I feel like you have to stick it out long enough. If y'all watched my video of my tribute for my dad at the funeral service that he had, Muhammad Ali was his favorite athlete, his favorite boxer, his favorite athlete overall, but particularly his favorite boxer. And I'm closing with this. He developed a technique that he called the rope-a-dope. The rope-a-dope is that especially he would use this against like fast or power punchers that he knows pack a punch in their punches, for lack of a better term. So he would go up against the ropes and hold up his gloves in like a defense stance, because he would make his opponent think that he doesn't have anything left in the tank, right? So what would happen is they would start swinging crazy, punching, and they're hitting his forearms, they're hitting his gloves, they're not hitting him in the face. They're not getting him really in any meaningful spots, but they are losing their energy. Then, when he notices that they're exhausted, they can no longer put themselves in the proper defensive stance. And then he swings back. To me, this is a lesson in patience and in perseverance. That low time that you're experiencing in life, it's low. There's no denying it. I'm not even a person that's like, turn that frown upside down, everything's going to be a bed of roses. I'm not that person, but I am that person that says, your pain is not going to last forever. Just hold on. Things will get better if you just hold on. Okay, y'all, have a great night. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to get some footage of the basketball game, but I thought I was going to get footage of this competition I did today, and I didn't. So, life is wild sometimes. I can't guarantee that. When I'm in New York, the reason you see me have all this coverage is because I always make sure to bring people with me and tell them, like, can you please record for me? Sometimes I pay them. Sometimes it's just people I ask to record with their cell phone. But out here, I don't know nobody like that. So I'm on my own. And I will talk to y'all. Actually, let me see. I want to, before I go, I want to see if I'm able to show you a little bit of what the city looks like at night. Just a little bit. Just a tad. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't look too great, but I'll show you a little more when I get back to the apartment. All right. Talk to you soon.